Hi, I'm Kyoshi Husky, and this is a Dark Souls walkthrough, episode 2. Last episode, we got a few items that are going to help us, including this shield and this armor, the Crimson armor. And we improved our Estus Flask to +1. So we don't want to go this way, through the graveyard, and you don't want us to go down the elevator to progress the game yet. The direction you want to go is up these steps, up this little hillside. We're going to get the first boss. Might as well get this item. This is another Soul of Lost Undead. I just run past that grenade guy and take out that guy first. I would be careful around the edges of any cliff or anywhere where you could possibly fall down, because gravity is a killer in this game. It's probably the #1 way that I have died playing Dark Souls. It's gravity. So we're gonna go in here, kill this rat. Sometimes they drop a humanity, so that's nice. And another soul of the Lost Undead. And we'll just go down this tunnel. And up here. Just be prepared when we get up here, because these hollows are going to come at us quickly, jump at us. I usually clear these 4 out. See what I mean? The camera gets a little bit weird when you're locked on to somebody. We could have easily fallen off that edge, but anyway, there is a little path down here. Just crash these barrels. A couple more souls of the Lost Undead down here. Another one in here. Somebody's following us. Soul of Lost Undead. If you see hands hanging on the wall, a pygmy is soon to follow. You can see over there, they're hanging. We can knock a couple of them off the wall. Got 2 of them anyway. We're using the small sword, the short sword. This rubbish we can trade into the crow for a Titanite chunk later on in the game. But the short sword doesn't quite have the reach of the long sword. And we got a humanity over here. Being interrupted by my cat, so I apologize for that. Jump across here. Oh, yes, we made it. So. And go through the fog gate. There is another soul here. And then we just get a flyby by the red dragon. So I usually wait for these guys to come get me. Oh, he's already shooting arrows, the archer. But if we hide behind the wall, we can avoid them for the most part. Through here is a shield. I don't typically use this. I did not mean to do that. I do not typically use this shield, but it's a wooden shield. It only has 93 physical damage reduction, and the stability is pretty low at 52, but it does have good lightning resistance, so it could, you know, fill a role at some point, but I don't use it very much at all. All right, we continue on. Okay, now we are going to rest at this bonfire, and then I want to go see the undead merchant. We don't need to buy a bow, but I do want to buy a few more arrows because I'm going to be using the bow and arrow a little bit more in my playthrough. But I don't need them yet, so I'm going to level up at least once. Get our vitality up. Looks like we can only level up once for the moment. So of course enemies respawn when we rest at the bonfire. Let's go see the undead merchant. I like to draw these guys out one at a time. They're a little easier to handle. Kick. So you push forward. Remember what they said, push forward and right bumper at the same time. See, sometimes it's hard to get. Let's do this, huh? Break through these boxes. And here is the undead merchant.
Well now, then I trade for souls.
Let's just look at what he sells. Repair powder, you can buy that so that you don't have to go to the blacksmith to repair a weapon. I don't use this very much because my weapons don't typically wear out that fast. Some throwing knives, I don't use them very often, but you could find a use for them for sure. Fire bombs we already talked about, and the Lloyd's talismans, we picked some up, but we didn't really talk about them. It blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. In the outside world, the undead are cursed creatures, and Lloyd's cleric knights are widely praised for their undead hunts. This blessed talisman blocks undead recovery, allowing the knights to fight with impunity. So, I don't use these very often. This dried finger is an online item typically. It helps people who are playing online to find your summon sign, or for you to find other people's summon signs, but it also increases the likelihood that you will be invaded by a dark spirit. And then the orange guidance soapstone, you can write a message on the ground also when you're playing online for other players to see. Then we have the residence key to a residence in the undead burg. Simple, sturdy design. The locks in the burg keep out unwanted visitors. But this is a standard key in these parts and will open several residences. A repair box and a bottomless box. You can put your items in this box if you don't want to organize. You know, if you have too many items, too many weapons and armor and things of that nature, and you want to declutter your inventory, you can put everything into this bottomless box. So I never use it, but in fact, I buy this from the repair box from Andre the blacksmith. I don't really buy it from him. Everything else we'll get. And then of course he sells the short bow. If you have a character that does not start with the short bow, he sells that for 1,000 souls. And he will sell this heater shield. The warrior's class starts with this shield, but it's a very good shield. Only costs 1,000 souls, but we already have a shield. So those are the things of note.
What a waste of time. Go and fall off a cliff.
So since he insulted me, I have to defend my honor.
You've gone mad, have you? I'll teach you,
Get
you
out of the way.
lousy rat. You-
Ran out of stamina.
Julia! Why me?
So there's the residence key, the dried finger of the humanity, the orange guidance soapstone. We could have bought 3 of those things from him, but we get them for free. And this is what I want, the Uji Katana, for my Dex build. I'm going to equip it now, even though I won't be able... I don't think I have the strength for it. No, I don't have the strength. I only have 13 strength, and I need 14. But I can two-hand the weapon. So we'll use this. Makes us a little heavy. So I'll just take that off for now. What did he drop? Battle axe. Not a bad weapon. The bandit starts out with that. Alright. We have the Uji Katana, and I can definitely level up, so I'll level up my strength once, so I can handle it one-handed. Now let's take care. Let's see how this works. Whoop. Pretty nice. So it does 90 physical damage, and its scaling is plus 14. That's because it scales a B in dexterity. So the more I improve my dexterity, the better that scaling number will be. And it also does 300 bleed effect. So for bosses and larger enemies, if you keep a sustained attack on them, the bleed will build up, and eventually you'll do a critical damage with the bleed. The problem with the sword is the durability is only at 80, so you do have to repair it more often than other swords, but really not that much that it hurts the gameplay. So let's move on. I just go in here like this far so I can aggro this guy. That way it only aggroes one at a time. Perfect. We'll get this guy in here. And this guy behind here. The nice thing about this weapon is the light attacks are slashes, and the heavy attack trigger is a straight thrust, which is good in tight areas. Black fire bombs. They're just like the regular fire bombs, just a little bit better. Okay, here's another ambush. The guy in back throws fire bombs. I like to bring these guys into the stairway, and then do the thrust. It's not necessary to get these guys up here, but we want to get that item. It's another Soul of Lost Dead. Sometimes it doesn't let you go up that. Oh man, they're just firebombing me to death. Huh. I made that much worse than it had to be, but just don't panic, it's fine. Okay, we're going to go in this doorway here. We're going to use the residence key that the Undead Dead merchant was so nice to give us. Gold pine resin. This is a good item. It makes your... Let's take a look. Rare pine resin, which emits golden sparks, applies lightning to right-hand weapon. Affected weapons inflict rare lightning damage, making it effective against targets which are resilient to both magic and fire. Very effective against dragon family foes. Okay. It is very effective, and we will use it against the boss and the Black Knight probably too. So somewhere along the line, we got a humanity up in the left-hand corner. It's now 1. If you haven't beaten the boss in an area, you will have a chance to gain a humanity from any enemy. It's pretty random. But you can get a maximum of 10 for each area. And like I said, once the boss is defeated, then you can't get it anymore. Yeah, we can put these on. These are really lightweight. And they do, 13 protection, which is really good for 1.5 units. So let's try that. We still roll quick, so we're good. Uh-oh. Oof. Thought he was going to hit me at the same time that I kicked, but I beat him. Just get out of the way of this trap. He'll kick a barrel that explodes down on you. Okay, down here is the Black Knight. I am going to equip the gold pine resin. Press X to, push down on the directional pad to select gold pine resin, then I'll press X to use it. So if you're comfortable pairing, oh wow, I missed the parry, then you can do that. Otherwise you can just run up here. I suggest new players just kind of run up here. So you have space. Then you have multiple ways that you can kill him. Where is he? There he is. He leaves himself open a lot. Whenever he does a thrust with his shield, he will follow with a thrust from his sword that you can parry easily. So that's what I do. Titanite chunk. Sometimes he'll drop a Black Knight sword or a Black Knight shield, and they are good items, good weapons. They're pretty powerful. So, but it's only about a 20% drop rate on those, so it's not likely, but it does happen. And if you do get one, I would suggest using it because they're really good. But it does take a little bit of a commitment. It takes like 18 dexterity and 20 strength just to use the sword. And also the shield, I believe, takes 16 strength. So it takes some stat commitment, but they are really good items. Here's a crystal lizard hiding. Oh my goodness. 2 twinkling titanite. That's standard. But the titanite chunk is random. Sometimes it'll be large titanite shards, or sometimes nothing. So it is random. The titanite chunk we'll use later for improving weapons from +10 to +11. So it's later on in the game. Go up the steps to get these guys out of the way after going into the boss area. Uh-oh. Ooh, I thought that guy was going to get me. Alright. With them out of the way, we'll go aggro the boss. Slide down the ladder by pushing B. Holding down B. Out in the middle, about here, he'll jump out. So then I run to the ladder and I climb up the ladder and do a lunge attack, a drop attack. I'm going to apply some gold pine resin when I get to the top of the ladder. For the rest, I just let him hit and then go hit him. Back away, then move forward and hit him. Oh, got a little bit of area of effect damage, a little splash damage. Ooh, that hit must have used up more stamina than I had available, so it caused some damage. Okay. There we go. The Taurus demon is down. Ooh, look. This is fairly rare, but he dropped an item. A demon's axe. A demon's great axe, which is, I believe, the best scaling strength weapon in the game, but it is ridiculously tough to use because, well, for one thing, it weighs 22 units, which is ridiculously heavy. But it also requires 46 strength, or to two-hand it, it will require 3/4 of that, about. But it scales with A with strength, so it's, you know, some people like to use it in later game when you have tons of equipment load available and your strength is really high. But a rare drop, it's kind of nice to get it. But we won't be using it, that's for sure. There's an item here. So we'll end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Kiyoshi Husky, and this is a Dark Souls quick walkthrough. I just want you to stay alive, bro.